blues all in the air. And I can't stay here no longer. I've got no steamship fare. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. Hey everybody, how you doing? Manitoba Hal here. As you know, welcome to another Tuesday tutorial video. Today I want to address something that I've been asked a lot when I'm traveling, and that is, how come you're playing a baritone ukulele so much these days? Now, I've made most of my career playing a tenor ukulele, as you can see in these clips here. Boy was still chasing his tail. Stack the cash or pay the cost. Hit it with the bones of a union boss. Hey! Great mysteries and no one really knows. It's a basic human question, Lord, I guess that's how it goes. But if you took a poll and you asked everyone across this nation, how come everything always tastes like chicken? How come everything it always tastes like chicken? How come everything it always tastes like chicken? That rabbit, turtle, cane toad tastes like chicken. Crocodile, alligator, snake, and pigeon, everything tastes like chicken. But of course now you can almost always catch me with a baritone, and there's two reasons for that actually. One of the first reasons is that the baritone is one of the most flexible of the ukuleles, because what you have is the ability to play in the range of the tenor or the soprano by putting a capo on the 5th fret. So these notes here are exactly what would be on a different ukulele, but you now have this extended bass range of lowering the thing. Now, recently when I was in New Zealand, and you may have noticed from my lack of a video last week, I got really sick and my voice dropped significantly in pitch, so I was talking way down here and I couldn't sing very high. So for a couple of the shows I took everything that is normally here and I did it down in the baritone range, which sounds a little like this, you know. Blues all on the ocean, blues all in the air, and I can't stay here no longer, I've got no steamship fare. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. Now, you can see that I'm using the exact same chord shapes, but of course it's a whole lot lower. But the nice thing is I don't have to go all the way down there. If I've got a song that is just a little too high for me, I can drop it down one step quite easily, you know. Blues all on the ocean, and blues all in the air, and I can't stay here no longer, I've got no steamship fare. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. So you've got that flexibility that's really nice, and that makes it easy to have a song in whatever range you need it in without being stuck with the particular sound of, say, a soprano or a tenor instrument. Now, the other advantage to something like a baritone instrument versus the other ones is simply the overall length of the neck. Now, if you're not soloing, this isn't going to matter so much, but now if I want to play a solo, resonate longer, sustain longer, all the way up the neck. So from a perspective of using the whole instrument, the baritone gives me so much more space. Now, this may be not a question that you've had often enough. I get asked all the time, what's the best ukulele to buy? Should I buy a tenor? Should I buy a concert? What brand? How much? And I always have a few different answers. Anyone who's asked me that knows that I always tell you, buy the most expensive instrument you can afford, because it will continue to reward you. You know, if you start cheap, you're going to end up buying another one and another one and another one. You're going to spend more than if you'd spot a good one right at the front. So spend as much money as you can afford. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Now, that being said, scale is often decided by your physical stature. If you're a smaller person, you may appreciate having a shorter scale instrument like a soprano, where your instrument is, you know, fairly close to you here, and you don't have a lot of stretch on these strings. You know, a stretch between the 2nd and the 4th fret there for a full D, or 5th fret, pardon me, for a full D chord is much easier here than it is down here. Now, it's not significantly different, but it is different, and that's something to pay attention to, is how long are your fingers, how big is your physical stature. The other thing to look for is what kind of tone you want from the instrument. Now in this case, because this is a baritone instrument and a resonator, I've got a nice low D string on here, which is very typical of the baritone tunings, D, G, B, E. And that gives me all this bottom end that's nice and rich and full. But it doesn't suit everything, you know? I mean, sometimes you want a much higher sound. And in that situation, there's no way to do it but get yourself a smaller instrument or retune. I know people have got baritones with high Ds here, re-entrant Ds. So whether you go low or high, I think the key is understanding the sound you're trying to achieve. Beyond that, it's personal taste. Now, I'm not giving up playing tenor instruments. In fact, I have a brand new tenor ukulele coming from Fred Casey in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited. I'll be showing you that video, a video of that when it comes out. And I've started to play guitar again. I've got a brand new resonator guitar that I've picked up in New Zealand that'll start being in my show more. That is actually just slightly longer than this scale. In fact, the nut puts it about here. So it's a 6-string instrument that is essentially baritone ukulele length, and that makes me very happy in ways I cannot even begin to explain. But that's not ukulele. Anyway, so summing up, baritones. Flexible because you can capo at the 5th fret and get your soprano tuning. You've got now 4 frets of lower pitch available to you, or 5 frets actually, and so it can either be in C if you're playing a C chord here, or in G, or in A, or in B. You know, so you've got every flexibility in that situation to change the keys with a capo and find the pitch that works for you. And from a soloing perspective, you've got so much more sustain and notes for playing along with your progressions. So, does that mean baritones for you? I don't know. Maybe. Check it out. By the way, this is my Canadian baritone. It's made by Mark Rogers in Ottawa. Isn't that a lovely instrument? Look at that with that nice maple leaf detail there. He's got another maple leaf up here in the soundtrack, or the headpost, pardon me, the headstock. And this lovely 2-tone ebony fingerboard. Oh, I love this ukulele so much. Call me Papagato, I made money. All the women gather around and call me honey. I got fancy clothes and a big fine car. I drink my liquor from an old fruit jar. I made money. I made money. I made money. I made money. Call me a Pagato. I made money. We'll see y'all in a couple weeks.